it's Jen from Kids Eat Vegetables. Welcome to my Tuesday broadcast. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Jen Zills. I am a wife, a mom of 3, a certified health coach, and the founder of Kids Eat Vegetables, where I help busy moms on their journey to raising healthy kids. And today we are going to talk about my best tips to get your kids to eat vegetables. If you have friends who you think would benefit from this broadcast, please be sure to share out the broadcast. Be sure to tag your friends. I know so many moms are dealing with picky eaters. If you've been around here and followed me long enough, you know that I am not a fan of the term picky eater. I feel like people think their kids are being picky when really their kids are just being kids, and they're learning and they're discovering food, they're discovering what they like and what they don't like, and it takes time. Many times when we think our kids are being, quote, picky, it can really just be a phase that they need to get through, like so many other things that they go through, that we go through with them in childhood. So we just need to be patient and consistent. And today I want to share some tips with you that I think can help you get your kids to eat more vegetables, because it is so important to their growing bodies, to their growing little brains, to have them eating nutritious meals and including vegetables in as many meals as we can. So tip number 1, mom, remain calm. Now I know after many, many nights of dinner time battles, it is hard to remain calm, but it is so important. We cannot make this an emotional battle. We cannot make this a power struggle, a control struggle. We really have to be patient with our kiddos. We need to lay out our expectations, tell them in advance, talk to them about what we expect, talk to them about why it's important to eat healthy, and then let them decide. So tip number 1, remain calm. Tip number 2 is be an example. Be a good example, make healthy choices, eat your vegetables, talk to your kids. If you're making a new vegetable or you're trying a vegetable in a new way, talk to them about it. Explain to them that, hey, this is new to mommy, this is new to daddy. We didn't always eat this growing up, or oh, I'm really excited to try this new recipe. So they think, hey, your mom and dad, you've done this already, you know it. Well, no, we talk to them about what it's new for us, just like it's new for them. So be a good example, make healthy choices yourself, and let your kids be a part of those healthy choices. Tip number 3, the always controversial: 1 family, 1 meal. That's it. We have to stop being short order cooks. We have to stop offering the alternatives that our children want. We're never going to win that battle. We're never going to win the battle when dinner's on the table, we're asking you to eat this, but the kids know if I don't eat this, I can still have the other option that I want later after dinner. That's not acceptable. We have to have 1 meal, 1 family, 1 meal. Everyone sits down together as often as possible and eats the same meal. So many times I talk to moms and they're like, my kid only eats mac and cheese, my kid only eats pizza, my child will only eat hot dogs. And then I talk to them about, well, what else are you offering them? And they're like, no, well, that's all they'll eat. No, we need to offer them other foods, and let that be the choice. That is the only choice. What is for dinner is what's for dinner. You don't get to have macaroni and cheese and hot dogs just because that's what you want, because that's not a healthy choice. It's not healthy for us to eat only mac and cheese and hot dogs every day. We need to eat a variety of foods, and we need to make healthy choices. So as often as possible, 1 family, 1 meal. Don't be a short order chef. Do not offer other options. I know, mom, you're like, but my kid's gonna be hungry, my kid's gonna starve. I can promise you your child is not starving. Your child is not going to starve. And will it be rough for the first few times? Absolutely, it's going to be rough. Could they go to bed with a little bit of a tummy that's hungry? Maybe, but that's their choice, and that's how they're going to learn. And I can promise you, they will not do that for often. They will understand that mommy is serious. When mommy makes a meal, this is what we're eating. This is what's being offered. Mommy is responsible for making sure that you grow up to be a healthy little boy or girl, a healthy big boy or girl, and this is what's being offered. Now, when it comes to once the dinner is on the table, they can decide, maybe you can let them decide of these healthy choices, what would you like? Many times if I'm trying a new vegetable, or if I know we're having a vegetable that's not one of my children's favorites, like squash. I have a daughter who has a force field, she says, for squash. She doesn't like squash. I'll have an alternative vegetable. I'll have a salad, or I'll have green beans, or I'll have an additional vegetable that I know that she likes or that everyone likes, so that there's always healthy choices that everyone likes. So they can choose maybe how much of it they want to eat. I'll get into that in a minute, but they can at least choose what the options are within the meal that you're serving. I think I talked last week about the fact that one daughter doesn't really like her food mixed. So as often as possible, if I can separate things out of the meal we're having, I will. That's fine. I'll accommodate that. But she doesn't get her own separate meal. She eats what we eat. Sometimes we can separate it out. Sometimes we can't, and that's okay. Okay, next one is talking about portion size and control. You know, the kids can make their own choices when it comes to what's being offered, but at our family, we'd like to try to enforce the 2-bite rule, that everyone has to take at least 2 bites. You don't have to eat it all. You don't have to eat a whole big scooping, huge serving size, but 2 bites. This is important because for all of us, repeat exposure is so important to determining if we like something or not. They say that it takes anywhere from 10 to 12 exposures to food for us to determine if we like it and to have a sense of liking that food, familiarity for that food. So we want to keep introducing the foods and having our kids keep try it. So 2-bite rule, you don't have to eat it all, you just have to have 2 bites. Hi, Laura. You don't even have to like it, but you do have to try it every time. So one family, 1 meal, and 2 bites. That's kind of the basic rules at our dinner table. The next tip I have for you for getting your kids to eat vegetables is look beyond the dinner table. So many times we have that dinner time battle over the vegetables when there are other times of the day which would be better to introduce or to offer vegetables to our kids. Specifically when they are hungry, when you know they're hungry. Hi girls, hi Sarah. It's so good to have you guys on today. So when they're hungry, for example, first thing in the morning when they wake up, offer them a veggie smoothie. Have them help you make a green smoothie, or what we call monster juice. So right when they get up, they're hungry. Right after school. So many times, if they don't go to school, sometime like around 10 o'clock, after they've gotten up, they've run around, maybe they've done a gymnastics class, or they've gone to the library, they've done some type of activity. Let vegetables be the option for snack. If they don't want that snack, that's fine. Lunch is right around the corner. Nobody's starving, but offer the vegetables when you know they're hungry. And after school, if you have school-age kids, or even if you're just, picking them up from childcare at the end of the day, they're almost always hungry. Have a few vegetables available for them to try. Offer that for the snack. It's not going to ruin their dinner, and it's going to be an opportunity to get vegetables into them. And if they don't like it, that's fine. They don't have to eat it, and dinner's right around the corner. So think beyond dinner time, offer vegetables when they're hungry. And finally, my last tip kind of goes along with what I've been saying, which is offer a variety of vegetables and a variety of ways in which you prepare the vegetables. Like I said, my one daughter has a force field for squash. It doesn't mean she never eats squash, it's just not her favorite. But I know that if I make a soup with a butternut squash soup, and I just call it vegetable soup, she'll eat it. Again, as a soup, this texture of that squash has changed. It's a little bit easier for her, and she'll eat the vegetable soup with no problem. So if you change the way that you present the vegetables and prepare the vegetables, either like in a soup or roasting, there's so many different ways, maybe with a special dip or a special sauce. Change up the way that you are presenting the vegetables to give them a variety, to let them determine what they may or may not like, and for them to build a preference over time, because it does take us several introductions to several exposures to a vegetable to determine if we like it, to any food to determine if we like it or not. So change it up, change the variety in which you are presenting and preparing and serving vegetables. So those are my tips for today. If you found this valuable, please be sure to share it out with your friends. We'd love to have more people in our community here. Moms supporting moms, it is so important. And I will recap my tips on how to get your kids to eat vegetables. Tip number 1 is remain calm. Don't make it a power struggle. Don't get emotional. It's your job as the mom to get your kids to eat healthy. That's your job. Be confident in that. So tip number 1, remain calm. Tip number 2, be the example. Set an example. Eat healthy. Let your kids see you eating healthy and talk to them about why you're making healthy choices. So tip number 2, be an example. Tip number 3, one family, one meal. We are not a restaurant. We are not short order chefs. One family, one meal. If someone goes to bed with a little bit of a hungry tummy one night, that's a consequence and that's life. And it sounds harsh, but let me tell you, that won't happen very often. They'll learn real quick, mommy's not a restaurant. Mommy took time to prepare a wonderful, healthy meal for you. This is what we're eating. One family, one meal. That's it. No special orders here. Tip number 4, 2-bite rule. Again, it takes repeat exposure to determine if we like something. So always have them take at least 2 bites. They don't have to eat it all. They don't have to have a huge portion. They don't even have to like it. But two bites to continue to get exposure to those vegetables. Tip number 5, think beyond dinner. Think about offering vegetables when they're hungry. Again, a breakfast smoothie is great, and after school, carrots and hummus are great times to introduce vegetables and to offer vegetables. And finally, offer a variety of vegetables in a variety of ways. So one night you might have steamed broccoli, the next or a couple days later you're having some roasted broccoli. Again, maybe you're going to roast some squash one night or have it in a soup another night. So offer variety both in the type of vegetables and the way you're preparing them. Those are my tips for today. I hope you found them useful. If you are not yet on our email list, be sure to go to kidseatvegetables.com/tips. Again, that's kidseatvegetables.com/tips. You'll receive a copy of my free ebook on how to get your kids to eat vegetables, as well as several recipes that are all kid-tested, kid-approved. And you will then be on our email list to receive our weekly email that comes out every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. called Veggie Bites. It's packed filled with tips, recipes, a replay of these videos, and you'll also find out the topic and the time for next week's broadcast. I always broadcast on Tuesday afternoons between 12 and 1 Central Time. So join our newsletter, be sure to share out this video, and I hope you found these tips useful. So Laura, veggies are a battle here. Sarah only likes raw carrots. I know, and it's such a tough age. It's such a tough age. And but keep trying. And again, when she's hungry, this is the choice. Don't make the veggies compete with the goldfish. You know, like we can't. The processed foods, the sweet foods, look at ourselves. It's hard. It's a hard battle, you know, like those foods are always going to win. And a lot of times those foods are manufactured to win. So unfortunately, the broccoli is difficult to compete with that. But Laura, you'll have to try. I'll have to send you some dip recipes because I have several different dips. And at that age, dipping is they're all about dipping. So having a couple dips, even if it's a ranch dip, you know, processed or store-bought ranch dip is not my favorite, but if it gets your kids to eat the vegetables and to get those repeat exposures, it's worth it. It's worth it. So good luck, honey. I know it's such a tough age. She'll get there. She'll get there, and you'll be happy for it. Again, as moms, we need to look at the big picture, the long road, the future of this to say, okay, she's going to get there, and she's going to learn why it's so important to make healthy choices, to use our food to properly fuel our bodies. So great. Well, thank you so much for joining. Smoothies. Oh, yes. I am working on a smoothie challenge. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I have a smoothie ebook coming out and a contest coming up to win some cool things for smoothies. So that's good. Awesome. You ladies have a great day. Thank you so much for joining live. If you catch on the replay, be sure, if you have any questions or comments, leave them here. I do check back and answer all questions after the broadcast. So thank you so much, ladies. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.